That's
Yeah, the
important.
doctor may not care. Well, I'm just trying to get you to live, and you're like, well, I want to live, but also I want some hair.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I can't believe that. Like most women are going in and we want to know what's going on with our hair. So if I sit down
Yeah.
and you tell me I'm at an 18 and you tell me I'm okay, but you know I'm a woman, then you need to know. You need to be telling me I need
But they don't care. I mean, well, not I don't. I shouldn't say that they don't care, but they're just trying to. You in and out. Are you bad? Are you really bad?
Right.
I'm not caring about your hair. They don't care about your hair, but you do. You do. And one other thing that really helped me a lot too, and I wanted to go back to the hair. I mentioned, my ferritin was really low, so now it's very high. So my ferritin storage, meaning the place that stores the iron, which is needed. You don't want to have too much iron, but it's good. And so I noticed hair growth starting there. I noticed that, but I also, because I'm a woman of a particular age, our hormones are off as we get older, and so I needed something to reduce the DHT. We have that real DHT is a monster, and so I do take a pill for that to reduce it. Yes, I do.
Now, is that something you get from your doctor? Or something
Yes, it's something. It's a prescription, and it's called spirolectone. So it's spirolectone. So if you go to your doctor, just say I want to reduce the DHT, and and it's spirolectone, and they'll give it to you. That has helped tremendously, because what it does is, over time, if you're not taking, when your hormones are off, what happens when it's not balanced, the testosterone usually burns off. It increases and it burns. It burns off your follicles. And so you want to take something like that to reduce that issue.
Welcome to our channel. I am Melanin Magic. If you want long locks,
luscious hair, radiant skin, want to look and feel good,
then I Am Melanin Magic is your brand.
I Am Melanin Magic, and so are you.
And I feel like I walked into who I really am. That's the if someone asked me, well, what did it do for you? I walked into who I really am. That's that's my kind of way of explaining what locks did for me. It walked me into who I really am, and my hair said, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love this too. And it has done me well. I have not had one issue with the lock journey. I have no, you know what I did? I lost a lock. This lock right here, and I had it repaired. This lock, I had lost.
Are you tired of struggling with hair growth and thinning strands? Release the magic in your locks and tresses with I Am Melanin Magic hair oils. A premium blend of all natural ingredients strengthens, restores, and revitalizes your hair for maximum health and growth. Don't let thinning hair
straightened hair brand.
Upgrade your hair care game today.
So are you.
I Am Melanin Magic hair oil. Oh my goodness, you're glowing.
Oh my God. You're so sweet.
Oh, this is the first time I see you. No way. Are you 61? Look at you. You are 61, Carol. You look gorgeous.
Well, thank you. Thank you. As they say, black don't crack.
Listen, okay. You just see that's a whole nother level of hope. You are positively glowing.
Oh, well, I think it's the lighting.
It's so wonderful to finally meet you, Carol. It is.
It's so good to see you again, and your hair and face and everything is fabulous.
What can I say? Ditto, ditto, ditto. Right back at you. Today's conversation is really an important one, and I think it's going to be a fabulous share because I know that as women, as we mature, we begin to see a greater connection between our internal health, stress, healing, life experiences, and even the connection to our hair. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on today to share because in the year or so that I've known you, you have some fabulous stories, but those stories are really based in some deep experiences that you've had with both your hair and your health. And I just think it's such an
Yes.
important share. And I think it's something that a lot of women can actually relate to. You know, I'm really so excited about this conversation, Carol.
Oh, me too. I thank you for giving me the opportunity to definitely share. Absolutely.
Carol, can you talk a little bit about how you came to start your Sister Locks journey in the first place?
It was literally, really, I didn't know about Sister Locks as of 2 years ago. I had no idea. I actually never seen Sister Locks as of 2 years ago. So that tells you how in the dark I was. I was only familiar with locks, and I've always wanted to lock my hair, but because I'm in a profession where it's client facing, I said, well, that may not be a good thing right now for me to do.
Mhm.
But once I retire, I said, oh, yeah, I'm definitely doing something. And I saw a, 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 a girlfriend and she locked her hair. I hadn't seen her in a while. She
Mhm.
had locked her hair. And I said, your hair is beautiful. It wasn't sister locks, it was just locks.
Okay.
And I said, I would love to do that. I just can't do it right now. And she said, you should do sister locks.
Uh-huh.
Why don't you do sister locks? And so I did. And guess what, Tanisha?
What?
Your channel was the first to show up. And so I actually, from looking and viewing your videos and learning about sister locks, I said, I'm doing it.
Wow. So
And
that's how
I
you came
went
into
the
my
next,
orbit.
that's how I came into your orbit because your video was the first one to show up because I didn't know, I'd never seen Sister Locks and had no idea. I said, what are those? I had no idea. And when I saw your beautiful locks, I said, this is what I want. I think I know that I have seen every video that you published. Every
Oh my
video.
goodness, really? Then
Every
that's a lot. That's a lot, Carol. So, I mean, that's
yes.
amazing.
I went back 10 years. You may have longer than that, but I went back years on your
Wow.
videos.
I didn't know
Just
that.
yes, and so that's how. And the next week, I called around to get Sister Locks, and I went to the Sister Lock website, because looking at your videos, you had mentioned that, and found a loctician, and uh, and she was good, and I started from there. That's how I got. That's why I started with the Sister Locks.
That's amazing. I can tell
And
you had a
loved
good
it and loved
loctician.
it.
I always say
Okay.
I'll never look back. The small locks, sister locks, micro locks, whatever it is that you do that allows your hair to be healthy and allows you to have a somewhat carefree hairstyle, it's going to be a decision, at least for me, that I'll never regret. I'm so happy with my hair, and through my hair, I've been able to claim a larger part of myself, I think, as well. What's your sister locks journey been like?
It has been amazing. I am maybe one of the few people that have not had any issues. When I got locked, uh, I was really just a natural. I didn't have pressed or permed hair. I was just straight natural. My hair was healthy then because I worked so many years to get it back healthy. So the Sister Lock journey was an easy, really easy thing for me because I started off with healthy hair. And so I didn't have any a lot slips or anything like that. I started out with 10 inches of hair. Um, uh, and I have not had any issues. I have not had any issues. My hair was real thin. I looked like a chicken at the top of my head. And now I have full growth. And I will have to tell you, it's contributed to many things, including, I swear this is not an advertisement of your products, but your oil have been amazing to get the thickness of the hair back. And so even the loctician, the person that was doing my hair said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Oh yeah, I'm using this, oil and here are the other things that I'm doing. I'm doing other things." I feel like your oils are more of like the fertilizer for what I'm doing inside to get that healthy again, to have healthier scalp also inside.
Wow. So that's wonderful. First, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I take a lot of care and concern in developing the product line, and it's something that this channel was a great motivator for. So I'm deeply grateful that you've had wonderful experiences with the products. I really am. Carol, tell me this. You mentioned sort of aligning what you do externally with what you are doing internally. When did you first make the connection between your hair and your health?
Okay. And I'm gonna go back a little bit. And one quick thing I didn't answer is I am a year and 5 months locked. Okay. So it was November of the year before last. Yes, that I started this journey. So a year and 5 months. And I got the connection really before I started locking
Mhm.
because I had a few crises in my life,
Okay.
due to the death of my daughter who died at 34. She got COVID and never really recovered, and that took me out. I lost all of my hair at the top of my head. That was before I got locked. And so I just decided, even though I was eating healthier then, I really noticed, being the age that I am, I said, why is my hair so thin up at the top and all of this is thicker? And and what I did was look at my blood. I look at my uh, t- uh, labs. When you get blood work, I really pay attention to the labs now that I get from the doctor. And I look at, and I know people look at labs and say, well, I'm high here, low here. What I actually did, I said, okay, I'm high here. What is that? It's my ferritin. Why is my ferritin low? And utilize the resources at your fingertips, like go on Copilot on your phone, ask AI, or go on to Google, whatever resource you use, and just try to find out, okay, something's wrong here. The reason why it's low, it has something to do with thyroid, it has something to do with not enough stomach acid. You kind of have to be a doctor of your own body. So I was very deficient in ferritin, which really, really the storage for iron. Okay. I
Okay.
thought I
Break
was
that
getting
down
enough
for us a little
iron.
bit more. Break that down for us a little bit more, Carol, so that we understand. You said you were deficient in Farrington. Can you break that down so we are clear on that? Because there are probably a lot of women who have had a lot of hair loss and may not be able to see the relationship between the hair loss and what may be going on internally within their bodies.
Right. And it's not just one thing, and this is just one of the things. Farrington was one, and this is my story. I just want you to know that I am not a doctor or anything like that. I am a doctor of my own body, so I can claim that I am a doctor of my own body. But
I'm a
I, in looking
doctor
at
in my own body. That's right.
Ferritin, and that's Ferritin. That is, if you have a copy of your lab work, always get a copy of that. I was very low. Now, the range for that is between 15 and 150. You'll see the range. You know how it'll say, here's your current results, here is your previous results, here's the range. And if you're within that range, you're good.
Right.
And if you're not within that range, that's bad. That's when it will show up. Now think about that. Ferritin, the range they give you is 15 to 150. When I got tested, 15 to 150.
That's a huge
So if
range.
you're under, that's a huge range. Now think about this. I was at 20. Okay, 20. So you would think the doctor will say, oh, you're good, you're within the range. Well, for me, for my body, that was not good for me. I wasn't getting enough, so I didn't have enough ferritin, for hair growth. The 20 may be good just in general, but if you want hair growth, that ferritin needs to be closer to 80.
Wow.
Okay.
So
So
now when you
remember, I
say
gave you.
Farrington, Carol, when you say Farrington, you're talking about iron, a derivative of something
Yes,
related
it's
to
your
iron, right?
iron. It's your iron storage.
Okay.
It's your iron
And so
storage.
you're saying
Okay.
that you were at 20, the range is 15 to 150, and 80
150.
is really where you need to be in order to have a healthy amount of hair growth.
Right. But see, they don't tell you that. So they don't
Don't-
tell
they
you
don't.
that. They don't tell you that. So you need, and even with all the ranges on your deal, you may be within the range. You may be within the range. That's fine. But for you to address this issue, you may need more.
And so, really, when I hear you say that, what I think of is it can be like that in multiple categories where you could be on the low
Yeah.
end of what would be ideal for something specific, but think that you're okay because you're in within this huge range.
Right. And let me tell you this. I'm gonna read something else to you that my vitamin B12. I'm looking at my lab results. My vitamin B12. It's the range 232 to 12 1,245. Okay,
Okay.
232 to 1,245. It says my result is very, very high. It's over 2,000. Now, mind you, the range is 1,245. So I'm at 2,000. So you think, oh wow, my vitamin B12 is high and off
Off
the
the
charts.
chart.
Well, no, no, in doing my own research, on my body, I'm discovering, wait a minute, my cell is not taking in the vitamin B12. I know I do a lot of vitamin B12 by the foods that I eat. I eat a lot of fermented vegetables, a lot of bacteria that creates a lot of B12.
Right.
So I'm like, wow. So my body is not, it's not taking it in. And it could be for numerous reasons. I'm hypothyroid. That could be one reason. Also, as we get older, our stomach acid needs to be 3 or lower. It needs to be battery acid. And as we get older, it gets more alkaline. And you notice how you eat food in
Our
regards to your stomach
digestion
acid. It's
slows,
like,
right? That means our digestion is slowing as we get older. Our systems don't fire up as much, right? So the digestion slows.
right, Yeah, because you know how you eat food, and people out there will know what I'm talking about. You'll eat something,
Mhm.
you had a good, nice meal, and you're like, it's still sitting there. The meal is still
Yeah,
sitting there, and
or
it
you're
will sit
bloated.
there for, yeah, and you're for bloated, and you it sit there for hours, and you're like, why is I feel
Right.
bloated. It just right there. You don't
Mhm.
have enough stomach acid. You don't have enough stomach acid. That means that you don't have enough acid for that acid in your stomach to break down the food to go through the whole process of digestion.
And so you're
So
not getting the nutrients, it's not being properly
you're not
digested, it's
getting nutrients,
fermenting in the
right?
colon, and
Yeah.
then you're thinking that you're doing okay, but in reality, you're really not.
Well, in my situation, my digestion is good. I do things to increase my stomach acid. So that's not
Mhm.
so my issue is my thyroid. So again, it could be multiple things. So my issue is the thyroid. My thyroid is a little bit on the low side, and I'm looking at my records. I say, yeah, I need to really address this thyroid. So that's kind of how I've come to the conclusion. And just in regards to the B12 issue, just on my own,
Mhm.
just knowing my body, what I'm already doing, because I have enough stomach acid. I have no issues with food set. I mean, I'm good there. I don't feel bloated. My
Mhm.
stomach is flat. It's still good. So I'm
Mhm.
good there. Because mind you, at one time, that was not the case. That was not the case. So anyway, it's
Mhm.
just, discovering my own body, which when I find out the issue and address it, it comes out in your skin and your hair and the nails.
Mhm. So, Carol, what do you think was the point, the breaking point, or the point of no return, or that critical mass where you finally came to the realization that health and hair is connected and that you had to take control over your health and your hair?
Well, when when you go to a doctor and they just don't, I mean, to me, I just feel, you just have to figure it out on your own what's going on with your hair. I also notice with my hair, due to being older, there lack of circulation on the top of the scalp, and the massaging the scalp with the oils, that is really good. Another thing that I do is, I do have the red light therapy. Red light therapy is really good to increase circulation with your skin, your hair, your whole body. And so I've just learned that has helped me by taking care of things inside, which red light therapy does. It increases collagen, it gets your mitochondria energy cells moving. That transports energy and good nutrients to, all parts of your body. And that has helped my hair. That has really helped my hair. So I notice, so I know that when I take care of the insides, it's going to come out in the outside.
Do you think that most women approach their hair care that way from the internal out, or do you think a good deal of women tend to approach it from the outside and they deal with the external aspects like products and so forth? What is your personal opinion?
Oh, my personal opinion is the products and things are nice, but I wish I had before and after pictures to show you the hair where you saw nothing but my scalp, and you don't see that anymore. My hair, my scalp is just this is a recent retie.
You're going to
Okay,
have to
this
find
is
some of those pictures. Do you have any of them? Because you can send them to me and I can get them up here. We'd love to see some before and after.
yeah. You have to, because you have to see where I came from to
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about, because
Mhm.
you'll see spots of my hair bald, um, very thin. Even when I first got my sister locks a year and a half ago, of course, we know it kind of, it's sparse and you look like a chicken a little bit. But you know what? I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my journey, from the beginning to the end. Yes, I saw the thinness. I said, okay, I'm good.
I'm
And
here for it.
just doing, I'm here for it. The only thing, I regret about starting the Sister Lock journey is not starting it sooner. But then I said, wow, I went through some really tragic things. I wonder if I wondered if this was, more of the appropriate time for me to start something like this than back then. Lose, locks. When you go through something very traumatic, it takes, I would say you'll notice a change in your hair or whatever about 2 months or 2.5 months after that. So what happened to me was not immediate, but the results of it came to fruition 2 months later. And that's how it
Yeah.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's an important note as well, especially when you have locks, is oftentimes whatever you're dealing with in your
Mhm.
life, be it stress, trauma,
Mhm.
hormones, bad
Yes, a
nutrition,
hormone, right.
whatever it is that you might be dealing with, a lot of times, like anything else, the hair has that delayed the
Yes,
progression of what's going on is delayed, so you don't see it right away. So what you're looking at usually points to something that was happening earlier in the hair growth cycle. So that's really an important point.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Not to say that I won't go through that in life, because who knows I mean, right now we are all stressed dealing with what's going on right now. But, it's just, I think I have a better hold on myself now, meaning I do things to reduce my stress. I do things really to also reduce inflammation. Uh, Many people ask me, what is the uh, two most important things that you do? And I will tell you, I take care of that gut. The gut is the key to the soul. It deals with the brain. It deals with depression. It deals with everything. It's just everything. And of course your heart and and your kidneys and all that. But I'm just saying target that first because that helps all the other organs. Inflammation, reducing that stress. Inflammation is the silent killer. It will literally kill you if you are stressed out. You're holding on to, as they say, cortisol. You probably would have some belly fat. I go out, like after I have this talk with you, I'm going out to ground to put my feet on the ground
Yes,
and
yes.
take in some negative electrons, because our body is
Mhm.
positive, and when we bring in the negative electrons, it reduces inflammation. I think I
Mhm.
told you about the shoulder. I was in the midst of moving and I had a
Mhm.
major shoulder pain. I mean burning. I knew it was inflammation. I said, this is crazy inflammation. It took me a week and a half to get rid of it, but I ground for 30 minutes a day and it was gone. So it's just, doing things like that, really taking care of the inflammation, and
Mhm.
that has really helped me quite a bit. And believe it or not, if you reduce inflammation, that's good for the skin and the hair.
Yes, yes. I think you actually did name two of the most important things. The gut health, they're saying currently the gut is almost the first brain now. It used to be they
Right.
said the gut was the second brain. Now they're saying that the gut has more control over your overall health and wellness than the brain does and the other bodily systems, which is why you're saying they're tying the connection between mental health an illness to what's going on with the gut. And a lot of us in this country in particular have an inflamed gut and don't even realize it
And
because
don't
of some
even
of the things
realize
that are
it.
going on with the food supply and then the daily stressors that we have. So then you talk about the inflammation, which is huge because a lot of people have chronic low-grade inflammation
That's
that's
right.
almost right beneath the radar, not to mention those people that have inflammation that's more moderate or inflammation that has led to other autoimmune diseases or health issues like diabetes, high blood pressure, and so
That's
many things.
right.
And naturally, when we start having gut issues, if we're not getting the nutrition that we need in the
Right.
gut, the health is not going to, the hair is not going to get what it needs.
That's
You
right.
know, it needs
That's right.
protein, but protein requires a lot of digestive juice to digest. So you're not going to get so much of what the body and the hair needs in order to be healthy if the gut is not in order. And that's a serious piece in this country because of the food supply and some of the things we have to take corrective intentional action in order to ensure that we are getting what we need for our unique bodily needs.
That is
Yeah.
absolutely right. And a lot of people say, well, how do I change the gut? It's the gut biome, I would say.
Mhm.
We eat a lot of food and we eat processed food. And
Mhm.
even though I eat organically and 95% of my diet is raw vegetables, I am not a vegan. I do have shrimp and salmon. I make sure it's not farm raised, but you're still taking in some bad stuff. Our environment, oh my God, is so toxic that, you know, I have air filters. I'm sitting right next to one right now. I have air filters all around the house to clean the air. It just reduces the toxins that the body is taking in. And this definitely, helps me sleep. But um, uh, definitely feed if you're not taking a probiotics of some sort and a prebiotic. I say pro and pre because we tend to focus on increasing the good bacteria but not feeding the bacteria, and so uh, make sure you get a supplement of some sort that has both probiotics and prebiotics to increase the good bacteria and to feed it. If you have probiotics only, you could feed the bacteria by feeding it vegetables. Vegetables, they love vegetables.
So Carol,
I like my gut is a person, which I do.
well,
I feel like
actually,
it's a person.
you're probably doing better because you treat your gut with the level of respect that it
I
deserves because
do.
it's running the show. Okay, so in a sense, it is its own entity, its own system or whatever. But you said something really key because, and I want you to distinguish this and clarify this again for the audience. There's a difference between prebiotics and probiotics, and we typically do what? Can you repeat that and,
we,
and
we
break that down a little bit more so that
yeah,
everyone understands?
yes, we tend to do just we'll if you are taking a probiotic, because if you're not, you should.
You need to be. Let's get that right
You need
first.
to be. You need to be. But many people will take only a probiotic, and the probiotic is really bringing in just good bacteria, which is great. Okay, that's
Well, we get
good.
that in yogurt. Like give an example, yogurt or the kombucha that
Yogurt.
we make,
Yes, yeah. All that.
sauerkraut,
Yes,
mm-hmm,
sauerkraut.
mm-hmm,
Yes, that's correct.
kimchi. Uh-huh.
Yes, kimchi. All of that is really good. But the sauerkraut is prebiotics because it's feeding the
Okay.
bacteria.
Okay, it's
Okay.
gonna feed the
The
bacteria.
the,
Okay.
the
Okay.
fermented vegetables that feeds the bacteria. Anything leafy, vegetable, fruity, that kind of stuff. That's food. That's food
Okay.
for the
Okay.
bacteria. Because I look at the good bacteria as an army, and you want to increase your army. Now it's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay now. It's good now. Now I will say it's good to have a little bad. We have to have bad bacteria too, but we have to
Right.
keep the bad bacteria in check.
In check.
You have to keep the. You have
Because
to
now
keep.
with the prebiotics, Like, is it that? And this is what I remember. This could have been like a third grade science class, so you're gonna have to correct me. But isn't it that the vegetables have their own natural biome to protect themselves in the wild, and so they produce certain bacterias and microbiomes. So when
Yes.
we eat them and we have a diverse supply of different vegetables, we expose our gut to a variety of different,
Yes.
bacteria, which actually strengthens us, right?
Right. And
Okay.
see, and a lot of people, and here is the thing, and people are probably laughing at about talking about this.
They can
And
laugh.
they like, wait a minute, I don't think I could do that. That doesn't taste good. Well, let me tell you this. I was the same way. I am you. If you are that person, I am you. So many of us, I was you. I mean, if
Mhm.
you're out there, and I'm like, how do I do that? And when you eat a certain way, let's say, and I would say a good month, you change your microbiome. Your microbiome is going to say, okay, this is what I like. Right
Yeah.
now, it may be liking fries and hamburgers and
Uh-huh.
pizza. Yeah, if you feed it, and that's why people crave it because they don't understand. Well, I have a craving for that. Well, because you've trained your microbiome to like that food.
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
so,
Yes.
so if you change the way you eat and feed it something different,
Yes.
over time your biome is going to change. Like right now, I don't
Mhm.
I don't
Mhm.
like pizza. I'll eat it. I had it a couple of weeks ago, and I just my microbiome said, "Look,
It
I don't
can
really
handle.
I don't
Uh-huh.
want that. I don't want
Uh-huh.
that." But when I see a plate of vegetables, mind you, I have a craving for that. It's
Yeah.
nothing better for me to see a plate of vegetables,
Uh-huh.
colorful
Yeah.
vegetables, and my
Yeah.
and I crave it because my
Yeah.
microbiome is craving it.
Yes. That's such an important point because a few things I want to say. The idea that whatever we do a lot of, literally, I give this example sometimes when I talk to my clients about certain things, because we look at things physically and we don't always extrapolate and see the spiritual or the metaphysical or the mental or the emotional aspect of
Mhm.
things because they're just physical. But that microbiome affects every other aspect. So whatever it is that we're doing a lot of, we grow the receptors for that. For example, if we're in a relationship that is unhealthy, we grow a desire and a craving for that instability. We become used to it, and not
That's
until we
right.
change
Yeah,
that behavior do we begin to adjust and learn that there's another type of environment that actually feels good. But we can become situated in our eating, dealing with certain things, and our body will adapt because the body is adaptable. But when we begin to shift
that's
that
right.
same thing, we begin to notice, and it really just takes a little bit of time. It's interesting because this morning in particular, I've been really going in on my smoothies and doing my chia seeds, my flax seeds, my hemp seeds,
Oh, that's
and
good.
making a really, putting the berries in, the almond milk. I've been doing a lot more protein lately, and it's I'm having my gut biome is adjusting because each time I eat I actually eliminate, like, each time I'm eating
See,
throughout the day, so I know my person is happy, right? But then
yes.
today I was like, though, I was like, you kind of know you've kind of had this issue with dairy for some time, and the protein shake or the protein mix is way isolate. So it's supposed to be better. And I'm trying to get my protein intake up because typically, long story short, I've been dealing with a lot of hormonal replacement therapy stuff, and I stopped doing that. So I'm changing some things around in terms of my workouts as well as in what I'm eating. But I started noticing that getting the protein in the morning like that, at that level, I felt might have been too much. So I had to study. I'm talking about initially, I'm just trying to bring the point to the need to study your own individual needs.
That's
So this
right.
morning, when I went down, I said, you know what? I'm going to try the plant protein only. I'm going to leave out the whey isolate protein, even though I'm getting a lot more bang. I'm getting with 2 scoops, I'm getting 60 grams of protein. I said, you know what? I need to try the other plant protein, and I'm not going to add the flax or any of the other things because I need to isolate what is creating that great amount of bloating, right?
That's
I
good.
don't really want to have to give up my shakes, even though Ayurveda is saying I've got a weak digestive system. I need to do some other things. I'm like, look, I got to get the protein in first, right? So
That's
I
good.
came downstairs, and that's what I did. And I noticed she was flat and she felt good. And I was like, okay, she's talking to me.
Because she's telling you, yeah, your body
Yes.
tells you.
So I'm like,
We ignore it. We ignore it. We do. We ignore it.
we ignore it.
We
And
ignore
only
our we ignore all the signs and the symptoms. We ignore it. And I try to get my granddaughter on this boat. I said, I said, tell me what happened. I said, because she had this issue, and I said, I want to know when it. Well, when did you notice it? Was it 3 years ago? Because 3 years ago was when your body was saying,
time to talk to you.
me, help me, help me. I am, please pay attention to me. 3 years ago. And you go along and you ignore it. And then, boom, you're at the doctor's office or in the hospital going to
Now it's
care.
inflammation, and it's
Yeah,
chronic inflammation. It's predisposing you to something else.
right.
I'm
And it
guilty
just
of sorry.
we ignore it. We ignore it. So if you have pain of some sort, don't ignore it. That people say, oh, I'll take this aspirin. Oh, it'll go away. No, your body is saying, wait, no, hey, wait. Hey.
No, and you know what? Something else too. I recently started. I love pumpkin seeds anyway. I've been making more of sourdough bread. That's the only kind of bread we bring and eat in this house is sourdough bread. But I've been making, pumpkin seeds and sesame seeds and doing all that.
That's
And
good.
one of the oils has the pumpkin seed in it, so I recognize how important the pumpkin seeds are for
I
hair
do.
health. And so
Yes.
I've been consuming more of those. And the chia and the flax are extremely vital for not only our hair health, but also the phytoestrogens that mimic the body's natural estrogens
Yes.
during menopause. But the funny thing is, I feel like 100% my hair in the last month is responding. It's a lot more moist. It seems to be holding more moisture than it was this time last year when it felt drier. It's feeling better, and I really feel like it's a indicative of the fact that I've changed some things in my diet. I was that way.
Exactly. It is.
Mhm.
I wish people knew that. I wish
Yeah,
people. You want to. I want to scream it to
yeah.
the mountaintop. If you can take care of your insides, start with the gut. Do pre and probiotics. Introduce vegetables in your diet, even if you still eat a little, bad. Okay, that's fine. Just say,
Mhm.
okay, I'm gonna feed you gut bacteria. I'm gonna give you some,
Mhm.
give you some vegetables over here.
Let you go on a little vacation.
Yeah, and just say, well, I'm not gonna ignore you, gut biome. I'm gonna feed you a little bit. I'm gonna take care of you a little bit, and I'll do this. Because that's all it wants. It just wants you to kind of pay attention to it a little bit. Okay.
No, that's right. That's right. That's right. Carol, both my daughters, my younger daughter recently came back from Greece, but when my older daughter a couple of years ago went to Italy, they both came back saying the same thing. They were able to go there and eat the same foods and eat more, feel more satiated, satisfied, and then drop a couple of pounds on a vacation. And so it makes you really understand just how different our food supply is and the degree to which we are really dealing with harmful additives, preservatives, food colorings, and farming practices that require that we have to work harder to be healthier and we have to take intentional and corrective action just to ensure that we're getting some of our basic needs met. So if we don't do anything for her, we'll end up having some serious issues. I can look at the things that I have not done for my gut over the years, and I'm paying the price now. which is
Oh
why I'm
yeah,
getting
oh
on.
yeah. And I want to say something about your daughters going to Italy and losing weight, and that is true. And I can tell you this: their diet is very healthy because that's where high polyphenol olive oil comes from. And I am a matter of fact, I went to a olive oil taster. That's how
This is
well,
serious.
and
Yeah.
they incorporate that in their food, and you
Yeah.
do lose weight. You do, because I notice it because I cook I cook everything in olive oil,
Uh-huh.
high
Uh-huh.
polyphenol, not just regular
Mm-hmm.
olive oil at the
Mm-hmm.
store. I'm talking about the ones that have a harvest date within the past 6 months.
Okay.
High
Okay.
polyphenol, and I'm saying when I say high polyphenol, and it does cost. I'm talking about up there in the 700s and 800s.
Now, what is
Most
the name of one of the oils that you use?
well,
Can you drop a name?
I go to this olive oil. It's called Canolio olive oil
Okay.
in Austin, and
Okay.
because I'm in Austin, and I could show if you want me to go real. I could go over here
I
and bring
don't
it out.
mind. Please,
Okay,
can you get that? And
okay.
also, there was something else you mentioned too, Carol.
Uh,
You mentioned it yesterday, I think.
okay. Uh, Okay, this is the olive oil. This is one of the olive oils.
Hold it up so we can see the label.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, canolio. Okay,
yes.
canolio.
And
Okay.
and look at the brown label. Look at that.
Uh-huh.
And this
Hold it up just
has
a little bit more, a little bit. Hold it up. Yes, yes, yes. Down just a little. Yes. Okay. Okay.
now this is and I this is the highest polyphenol. And you notice when I eat, I don't feel bloated. It's I'm full for a long
Right.
time. I take 2 tablespoons of this. You'll notice a difference in your hair. You notice a difference in your skin.
Uh-huh.
Also, I have balsamic vinaigrette I put on
I
my
love
food.
balsamic. I
This is
love
good to,
balsamic.
yes, and this is 25 years old.
Okay, so now that it's the same brand has a balsamic vinaigrette.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
I love balsamic vinaigrette.
And it's 25 years old. I got the 25-year-old one. So this fermented for 25 years. You pay a little
And
bit more.
and they make that in
They,
Austin.
no, they don't
No,
make any of this in Austin. This is
they ship
coming
it.
from Italy. This is
They
coming from
okay.
Italy.
So now that bottle, what is that? A 32 ounce, 64 ounce? What size bottle is that?
This, I don't know. Oh yeah, it's 750 meal.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know.
This is like
This is
milliliter.
huge.
Okay.
I don't
So
know.
because I know four is 50 or 480 is like 16 ounces.
Oh,
So
I'm
that looks
sorry.
like
It's 150 meal.
okay. So that looks like okay, so 150 milliliters. That's like almost like a wine bottle size is what it looks
Yes,
like, right?
yes, it is.
And you also take 2 tablespoons a day
I
additional?
Yeah, I take it on an empty stomach, and then I
Okay.
take it 1 tablespoon with my meal, and also I
Okay.
cook it in my salmon. So when if I have salmon or grilled shrimp, I
Mhm.
will put olive oil in there, and you'll notice you think, oh my God, that's a lot of fat. No, it is your diet and what your daughters experience when they travel.
Mhm.
They cook everything, and mind you, that's the source of where all of our olive oil is coming from.
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh.
they cook everything and do everything with olive oil. They even put olive oil in their ice cream and balsamic vinaigrette on their
Oh,
ice cream,
really?
which, oh,
Really?
that's a nice treat. Try that. Oh my God, it
Really?
is amazing. It
Really?
is amazing. If you have good olive oil and put some and
I
you'll
love
notice
olive oil.
if you have stomach issues or gut
Mhm.
issues, take some balsamic, and I'm saying a good balsamic vinaigrette,
Mhm.
the thick one, not the thin one. There's one that the thickest one that they ferment for years. You can get something that's 10 years, 20
Wow.
years. This one is 25 years. And the thicker
Wow.
the balsamic vinaigrette, the more good bacteria that's in it. It's a different type of bacteria. And when you take that before you have your food, you'll notice a big difference in how your food process that.
Now,
It's
I'm
really
familiar
nice.
with taking the apple cider vinegar before, but I've never heard of taking balsamic vinegar before. And I have some balsamic vinegar in my cabinet, but I can guarantee you it has not fermented for 25 years. I
If
need to
it's,
go in search of that.
if it's liquidy, you're right. If it's liquidy, if it's that thick, thick balsamic, like real thick, 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 thick.
I say it's mid viscosity. It's not as thick as what you're talking about, but it's not super thin either. It's kind of like right in the middle.
Okay, got you. So that's fermented some years. So that's
Okay.
good. So
Okay.
that's good. So that's good. And I just so it's good to, that's really your gut loves that too, and you're not bloated. It's high polyphenol and polyphenol is so good for cognitive health. It's good for the gut
Okay.
bacteria. It's good for reducing inflammation. So get some good olive oil in your diet. And I actually, because the polyphenol in this olive oil is so high, I could really just take 1 tablespoon and get away with it because it's so high
Wow.
in
So
polyphenol.
that's gonna be way more than what we're getting from the store bought.
Right.
I mean, 'cause
Hmm.
they did some research, I saw maybe about a decade ago, and 80 something percent of the olive oil that's on our shelves is not even at a level that could pass muster. I mean, most of it is blended with other things that we're unaware of, and it's not at a level that anyone in that country would claim proudly that they represent that oil. Like it's been distorted and corrupted in such a way that a lot of times what we're paying for, even when we think we're paying a higher
Exactly.
price for it, if it originates here, oftentimes we're not getting what we think we are.
Right. And I don't quite trust blended. I know some countries, where they kind of work together is blended,
Uh,
which is good.
I don't want
But
anything
then I,
blended.
I just don't trust the blended. So I am their olive oil is in it. And when you get good olive oil is when it is real peppery and it has a kick at the back of
Yes,
your throat.
yes,
When
yes.
you don't take it with food, and if it's
Mhm.
really peppery and you're like,
Yes, that's the good
that
stuff.
that's
Uh-huh.
the high, very high polyphenol. I just believe in getting good fats. I have at least a half avocado a day, or about a half avocado. Sometimes a full avocado a day. I have. You could say I'm more keto because
Okay.
I have a lot of fat. I introduce a lot of fat in my
Okay.
system, and I wear size 4, so I'm thin.
Really?
And if
So have you always been that size, Carol?
when I was pregnant with my daughter, I was 200 pounds, but I've always been the size other than that.
Okay. You're
I
one of
would
the
say,
lucky ones.
well, I will say I fluctuated. I I would say 10 pounds over the years. I'd
Okay.
say, I was 10 pounds heavier, but then I'm back, like right now, uh, because I ground, I go out and reduce inflammation, reducing cortisol. My diet, I'm feeding the microbiome, the introducing uh, good bacteria and also increasing um, uh, uh, basically feeding the bacteria so
Right.
it will do what it needs to do for your
Yeah.
body, reducing, improving your immune system too, because
Mhm.
that's another thing. If you get sick, I'm trying to think of when the last time I had a cold. I can't.
And you
it's
keep a
been
pretty hectic schedule too, because Carol, you're still working full time, right? I mean, you keep
yes,
a pretty hectic schedule. So how
yes.
do you balance all of that? How do you balance all of that at 61? What would you say is one of the major keys?
I will say, of course, the key in working the thinking part is the cognitive health. Now, mind you, the olive oil helps a lot in that. Of course,
Mhm,
getting your gut, and I will tell you, if I didn't do all that I'm doing, um, I I don't think I could. I think I would be ready to retire, but I'm not quite there yet. I think I have a good, honestly, I think I have a good 8 years left, with me for sure
wow.
for work. So I'm able to balance. I incorporate a lot of people when I tell them what I really do on a daily basis, they're like, "There's no way I have no time to do all of that." And I said, "Well, yes, you do, because if you are a multitasker, you can do it. And it is so important to, I always say, if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of your family. A lot of people say, well, I got to take care of my family, I don't have time to take care of myself. But then I'm like, well, if you go down, then your family doesn't have you. So definitely be selfish here, take care of yourself, and then you can take care of everything. But yes, I am my cognitive my cognitive functioning is really still real good. I think the way I think and move, I move really fast, and people are kind of
Mhm,
surprised where I am when I
mhm.
think. But I'm doing okay.
That's beautiful. And it's beautiful because I think when I listen to you talk, and I know that you're very active, and I'm looking at you, you look fabulous. Like I
Oh,
said,
thank you.
your hair is gorgeous, your skin is gorgeous, you're bright, you're vibrant, all of those things. I look at you and
Thank
I'm
you.
saying, okay, like you didn't get there though by just being a couch potato. You had to put
No,
some effort into it. And I'm realizing at this stage of life, because I kind of have gotten by for many years. And now my body is saying, you're not going to skate on us anymore. We've been talking to you for a long time. You haven't been listening. So I'm realizing how intentional I have to be because I pay for everything I put in my mouth. My body will react if it doesn't like it. So I have to start listening more and I have to start doing more.
that's
So it's
right.
making me realize that the self care is like, number one, it's the top priority right now for 2026. That's the main thing that I'm focused on is my
That's right.
overall health and wellness. But it's not something that I can compromise on anymore. And I just wish that I had been a little more serious a lot earlier, but it's never wrong time to do the right thing. So I'm getting on track.
Exactly.
I'm definitely getting on track, but I'm realizing that it's a process and it's going to require consistency. And there are just,
Consistency. Consistency, that's right. And even if I even tell people, even if you don't do it every day, just say, I'll
Mhm,
choose to do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'll
mhm,
choose to do this day, or I'll choose to not eat sodas anymore. And just
mhm,
that's the
mhm,
start. Or if
mhm,
you want to start on a health journey, because everybody think, if I do everything that I'm supposed to do, they think
mhm.
they have to quit cold turkey.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
ideal,
that's
but don't
right.
do that. I
Yes,
say don't
absolutely.
do it. I say
Uh-huh.
don't do it.
Yeah.
I said just
Mhm,
uh uh just say, you know what? I'm going to commit to not having any sodas, and no more sodas, and
mhm,
replace it with something. And also a lot of
mhm,
people say, well, how do you eat healthy almost 100% of the time? Because I
mhm.
bring in food where if I want a snack, I have
Yeah.
some nuts. I have
Mhm,
some walnuts. I have some pecans. I have some almonds. I have boiled eggs in the refrigerator. So if I
mhm.
say, "Oh, I'm a little hungry," I won't. I don't go for the chips. I
Yeah.
don't go for the
Yeah.
cookies.
Yeah. I think that's
Or
important.
yeah,
That's
just being
important.
prepared. So when you do say, "Oh, I'm hungry," and the
Mhm.
first thing you go for, because you don't have anything else, is the
Yeah.
bad stuff, because you bought the bad stuff.
Mhm. And
So that's
something else I'm finding, Carol, is that the better my nutrition is, the less hungry I am.
That's
so I
right.
can make more responsible food choices. But when I'm eating those high refined carbs, or I'm eating stuff with a lot of flour, or things that my body doesn't really like and has told me too many times to stop eating, like the bread, even though I love to make the sourdough, I got to
Mhm.
make it for him, not for me, because I can't be eating it, because it does me in. And it's hard sometimes. But that actually, that refined food stimulates craving for more,
It
more and
does.
more, because my cells are not getting the nutrition they need. But if I have one of those
Exactly.
smoothies, my smoothie might be a pretty, like, almost 700 calories by the time I add the avocado, the berries, all
That's
the different
right.
things by the time I do. But that thing will last me all day.
Yeah,
It holds me,
it
and I'm not
does.
starving. I don't have the cravings and the snacks, So you make a great point. That's a really good point. Planning of the foods and being more intentional and being consistent.
Yes, that's right. That's
Hmm.
right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
So, Carol, what would be the one piece of advice that you could give women, that you think that by sharing that piece of advice, it could make a tremendous difference in the way they feel about themselves and the way they feel about their hair?
I would say take ownership. Start taking ownership and not relying on others to do it for you. Don't rely, and I'm not, let me tell you, I believe in doctors. I think doctors are great. But one doctor, I think I told you the story. One doctor I went to, I didn't know what was going on with me. It was about 20 years ago, and I gave him this history over a month, a log of when it happened, what time it happened. Was it during my cycle? Was it after my cycle? And I don't remember exactly what it was. But when he looked at me, he said, "Thank you." And I said, "Well, what?" And he said, "No patients do that." And he said, "You just made my job easy." And he said, "My job," he said, "Now I can tell you exactly what you have." And he said what it was. And and he said most patients will come in here and they'll say, "I have this really bad headache." And you'll ask them, "Well, when did it happen?" And they'll tell you, but they don't really give you the full details. And it could have been something that happened 2 years ago, but they're not
Mhm.
really giving you the full details to give us enough information to diagnose a patient. So he said, "Thank you for this." And he said, "You need to be a doctor of your own body." He said, he and when he told me that, ever since then, I said, "Okay, I will go to the doctor. I will let them check me out. I will do my labs, but I will be very diligent in being a doctor of my own body to figure out what's going on with me." We have information at our fingertips. It's right there. We don't have to go to the library back in the olden days where you have to bring up a book and try to find. You could just put it in the chat and, "Hey, what is
Yeah.
this?" Da 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 da. Create me a meal. And I use AI all the time. Create me a
There's
meal
no
plan.
reason to be there's no
Yeah,
reason to be out of the loop today.
it's no
I
reason.
mean,
So I would say
yeah.
utilize your resources, be the doctor of
Mhm.
your own body. In regards to the hair, take care of your insides. Make sure you have really good circulation, because as we get older as women, our circulation, it is, it's reduced. And the way you get that going is really exercising, moving. you know um,
Mhm.
there are things. Let's say you're not an exerciser. I don't like to walk or anything like that. Well, go on YouTube. They have those, what they call 5-minute exercise, and you do that, let's say 2 times a day. You
Mhm.
just got your exercise in. You got those mitochondria cells moving. I know I'm talking a lot, but
No, but
anyway,
you're sharing very, very important information. Please continue. This is
yeah. So
beneficial. Yes.
just keep moving. And one other thing that really helped me a lot too, and I wanted to go back to the hair. I mentioned, my ferritin was really low, so now it's very high. So my ferritin storage, meaning the place that stores the iron, which is needed. You don't want to have too much iron, but it's good. And so I noticed hair growth starting there. I noticed that, but I also, because I'm a woman of a particular age, is, our hormones are off as we get older. And so I needed something to reduce the DHT. We have that real DHT is a monster. And so I do take a pill for that to
Oh, you
reduce
do?
it. Yes, I do.
Yeah. Now, is that something you get from your doctor or something you get
Yes, it's
from?
something. It's a prescription, and it's called spirolectone. So it's spirolectone. So if you go to your doctor, just say I want to reduce the DHT, and and it's spirolectone, and they'll give it to you. That has helped tremendously, because what it does, over time, if you're not taking, when your hormones are off, what happens when it's not balanced, the testosterone usually burns off.
Increases
It
the
increases and it
follicles.
burns. It burns off your follicles.
Yes.
And so you want to take something like that to reduce that issue. So now that was for me. Okay. So again, talk to your
Oh, but
doctor.
that's helpful. And I wanted you to also you mentioned something else that was more comprehensive that you take as a supplement that a person could request from their doctor that has the biotin, the folic acid. It's a full
Oh,
complement to your hair regimen as well, or
oh
to the health
yes.
regimen. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And that was dealing with the iron, because
Okay.
I'm anemic, and is my my blood levels, well, I thought my blood levels, it got so low that I was very fatigued in the evening. I couldn't even drive. It was really that bad. It got bad where it was it was interrupting my life. I couldn't drive at night because I would want to fall asleep as I'm driving. So I said, okay, something's wrong. So I took iron pills, and iron pills were not working for me. So I ended up, I said, okay, let me go to an oncologist, that specialized in blood. So I knew it was related to something dealing with the blood. So I went to an oncologist, which is a cancer doctor on blood, and she tested me. She said, "No, you're really not that bad." She said, "Your," this is what she said. She said, "Your ferritin storage." She said, "Your ferritin storage is very low." She said, "We need to increase your ferritin storage because, again, I told you earlier that my ferritin storage was at 20, and it needed to, meaning for me, it needed to be higher. Now
Yes, you were at
so
the
let me tell you what my
doctor's.
storage is. Okay, let me tell you what my storage is now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
206. 206.
But
So now I can back off and not take it. So
here's the thing, if you were sitting in your doctor's office, if I was sitting in my doctor's office, they would say I was fine because I'm within
oh
range.
yeah. Oh yeah. And anyway, so the ferritin was my issue. Also, my other issue is my hemoglobin, which
Oh,
has
hemoglobin.
it's under RBC hemoglobin. Now, again, this is dealing because I'm anemic.
It's related still, right?
It's
Or
still iron related.
uh-huh.
I- and the range is 11.1 to 15.9. Okay. So
Okay.
11.1 to 15.9. Mine is 11.5, even as of last year. Mind you, it used to be 8. So what she did, she said, okay, let me prescribe you it's called a iron supplement, but it's different from your regular iron supplement that you get over the counter. It is totally different. It has folic acid. It has all these other things. It's a complete iron supplement that supports all the ingredients, supports one another. It is expensive too, only because of dealing with the tariffs and things like that. It's really more expensive, but it's good for me because see, I'm way over the limit now in my ferritin. I'm good, but so I'm good. So I
does it have a name, Carol? Does it have is it a particular brand or is it something that you could give us the name of so that we ladies who understand that we might need that can actually, get our hands on that?
Okay. Yeah, it's in my bedroom, but let me you know what? Wait just a second.
Yes, we want to see, right?
It will be quick.
We want to see what this is. But it sounds like the types of tests that Carol has had go beyond the level of scrutiny that your internal medicine doctor or your general practitioner does. It sounds like you need to see a specialist or someone whose credentials imply that they are really looking for or looking at the deeper level. Is that right?
Yes, and to what you just stated, in regard that's regarding my thyroid. What I find out because I'm hypothyroid, and what I found out about my thyroid when I went to an internal medicine doctor, they did my blood work and everything, but they didn't test all panels of the thyroid. And I could tell you for a fact that if you go to an internal medicine doctor, if you don't specifically ask for all the panels as it relates to, let's say, your thyroid, they're going to just test one panel and it's going to show up fine. It's going to say you're fine. And usually when it shows up on their test, that means you have great damage to your thyroid. Thank goodness that I had the wherewithal to say, let me go to a hormone specialist dealing with the hormones because the thyroid is a hormone. So yes. So I went to a hormone specialist and they test for that. And they test all three panels. I'm looking at the blood work right now.
Thyroid is critical for the hair health.
It is critical. It is critical. It is critical. It is critical for the hair. So I have three or four panels. My T3, the T4, and the free in total. They look at the free in total. They don't look at all the panels. You have to have all the panels. But when I went to the hormone doctor, they said, "Oh, wow, you're you're hypothyroid. You have a problem with your thyroid." I said, "But look, I have the test. I'm good. I'm within the range." They said they didn't test all your panels. They said they didn't test all your panels. They said by the time it shows up on this report, on their report, you're in trouble.
Very superficial sort of a peek at what might be going on, but we're not getting anywhere near the level of specificity that we need to really determine what's going on internally with our body.
Exactly. So if you know, and I just had the wherewithal to say, let me go to a home. I knew something was going on with my hormones and I was gaining weight. And I said, something ain't right. And then, of course, when I go to a specialist, just like an internal medicine doctor will refer you to a heart specialist. The heart specialist will know more. Or if you have arthritis, they'll rheumatologist, they'll send you there. So it's better to go to a specialist to get the details of what's going on. Again, I told you about the iron. I went to an oncologist that specializes in blood. So that's how I found out what was going on with me.
Can you imagine had you not done that? And most of us will stop at the general practitioner or,
Exactly.
the internal medicine doctor will listen to what they have to say, will take what they prescribe or go get something over the counter and think that we've really dealt with something systemic and we are barely brushing the surface.
Exactly. Now here's the iron supplement.
Bad some.
The iron
Oh,
supplement.
folate vein plus absorbic
Now,
acid precursors with absorbic acid precursors. Folate vein plus. And it says iron folic acid multivitamin. So it's like a multivitamin that you take daily.
yes. Well, I take it because my levels, my storage is
Uh-huh.
like like I have good storage now of
Yeah,
iron.
you're doing good now, girl.
Now I
It
have good storage
shows.
of iron. So I have backed off of this, meaning I still take it every
Right.
2 days
Okay.
instead of every day. I take it every 2 days. Right
Okay.
now, I mean, this used to cost me, I would say, and mind you, they have different brands. This is not the only
Okay.
brand, but
Okay.
at least it's a start when you go to your doctor to say, hey, I'm looking for a, of course, once you get tested, test to see
Uh-huh.
if where your storage is, the
Right.
ferritin.
Right. Uh-huh.
Get that tested first. And if you look at
Okay.
it and you like, ooh, I don't have enough for hair growth, which is around 80. Okay. I don't
That's
have
so I
enough.
just can't believe that. I just can't believe that. Like most women are going in and we want to know what's going on with our hair. So if I sit down
Yeah.
and you tell me I'm at an 18 and you tell me I'm okay, but you know I'm a woman, then you need to know. You need to be telling me I need
But they don't
more.
care. I mean, well, not I don't. I shouldn't say that they don't care. But they're just trying to. You in and out.
Just the
Are you
minimum.
bad? Are you really bad?
Right.
I'm not caring about your hair. They don't care about your hair, but you do. You do.
It's just like if you're not getting the levels of protein, your hair is not going to grow
Exactly.
because the hair needs to the body has to synthesize protein in order for your hair to grow. Carol,
That's
can you hold that up and turn it around to where we can see in the camera what the ingredients are? I just want to get a
okay. Let's
sense
see. You know what?
of the
It's a prescription. It's not like your regular supplement. Oh
right,
yeah, here it
right.
is. Here it is. Here it is. You know what it is? Here it is. Oh, here it is. Let me
Yeah,
see.
that part. And hold it back some so we can just get a sense. Bring it up just a tiny bit and tilt it down just a little, tilt it forward. Yes, just like that. Okay. I see that HCl. Okay. I was just trying to get a sense. It looks like it has the ingredients of a typical multivitamin, but perhaps
Yes,
just at higher levels. I see 1,000
exactly.
milligrams of iron, right? Does it say 1,000 milligrams of iron or 1,000 milligrams of folic acid?
It has, let's see, let's see what it has. Okay, it has folic acid 1,647.
Oh.
No, 1,000 milligrams of folic acid. I'm sorry. I
Okay.
mean high.
And how many iron? How many milligrams of iron does that particular
Let me
supplement
see.
have?
I'm looking right now. Uh, I don't even see the iron. It's in here. I know it's in here.
Do they have it under like ferrous sulfate or something? I know
Yeah.
sometimes isn't that like I don't know,
Yeah,
the chemical name of the
and a
chemical?
lot of times they'll name it something. Oh, yeah, here it is at the very bottom. Go to the very bottom. Let's see. Very, very bottom.
Hmm, I
Can you
can't see
see
it
that?
from here. Not able to see it. I was lucky to be able to make out the folic acid. It's hard to see. I see something that says 125 milligrams. Oh, maybe
That's
that's
it.
it.
That's
That's
it.
it.
That's it.
125 milligrams. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
And when you look at other iron supplements, it doesn't have the full spectrum of everything, all
That's
the
what I'm
ingredients.
thinking. Can you
And
later on will you be able to take a picture of that label
yes,
so that I can pop it into the video for the women who may want to look at what they might be taking and compare?
That would be good.
Levels are, because that could be very helpful. Because that sounds like it's inclusive of a lot of different things other than just what the standard iron.
Exactly. It's just, and then,
That's
the
important.
doctor may not care. Well, I'm just trying to get you to live. And you're like, well, I want to live, but also I want some hair.
Oh, that's right. As you get older and things are kind of wonky, you want to give your body and your hair every opportunity to thrive. So
exactly. And my hair is still thickening up even more.
I love the curly ends. I had the curly cues and I would always open mine up. I love the curly end. How long you've had your locks now for what? Two years?
Almost it'll be 2 years in November. But here's the thing about the curly ends. It used to be curlier than this. I can tell it's starting to drop now, and I'm losing it. I could tell
I hated that stage when mine started to drop, and I kept opening them up over the years. Now I wish I hadn't, because they never closed back up. But yeah, I love the curlies. That was the best stage for me. Oh, your hair is gorgeous.
Well, thank you, and I love the thing, because if you've seen where I came from, you would just and my hair is thickening every time. Like even just in 2 weeks, it's thickened. Like right up in here, it's thickened, and so I could tell it's just thickening and thickening and thickening.
It looks gorgeous.
Well, thank you. I love the. I will never. I'm like, I am so glad I'm here. This has been very empowering for me, meaning to switch to the locks. I can do any and everything that I want. I don't have to worry about, oh, I don't want to get my hair wet. I go in the rain and I'm like, ooh, rain. Yes, I love it.
Hair day. Never a day. Oh, it made me love myself more. I feel like it made me love myself and embrace myself more.
Right.
It did.
And I feel like I walked into who I really am. That's the if someone asked me, well, what did it do for you? I walked into who I really am. That's that's my kind of way of explaining what locks did for me. It walked me into who I really am. And my hair said, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love this too. And it has done me well. I have not had one issue with the lock journey. I have no, you know what I did? I lost a lock. This lock right here, and I had it repaired. This lock I had lost, and what it wasn't enough. It probably was too thin,
Too little,
too little, and so and I lost the lock, and I was so, Tanisha, I was so scared because
you
I
almost
thought
wanted to have a funeral for that lock, didn't you?
I did, but you know what I thought? I thought, oh my God, it's my scalp, and I thought it was from my scalp, and when I found out it wasn't from my scalp, it was just
a piece.
Right. And so I said, oh, I'm good. Oh, because I was like, I was so focused on that.
No,
and she put it back. She repaired my lock. She repaired, she repaired my lock.
You have to catch these things early. Like, I'm serious about my hair too. I don't play. I do a lot of things too, and I'll experiment with it, but I also pay very close attention to what's going on with my locks.
Exactly.
I want to be in this thing for another, I don't know, it's been 16 years now. I want to be in this another 16 or more years.
Yeah, and one of the things I learned from your video, you said, don't do it tight. Don't do it. I'm finding out that I have to go at least 6 weeks because my hair, the growth of my hair right now with everything that I'm doing is growing every 6 weeks. I'm right at a inch and a half to 2 inches.
You told me, especially when you use the products, it's growing even faster.
It grows faster. It's and your products, what it does is thickening. It's the thickening part of it, and then that's what's happening when I use your oils. It's like
makes the fuzzies, the hair around it starts to really grow.
Right.
Yeah, that's
and
what
it's growing. And so that's what I noticed with your product. I said, oh my God, You know, it hair is really, really thickening up and growing in this area, and and I would contribute, definitely. I would contribute, everything that I'm doing in regards to the scalp health with what's happening inside, and I would contribute your oil getting in there, in
It
the root
penetrates
of
the hair
it
shaft
penetrate,
and
right.
the
And
follicle.
one of the things my loctician said, that I said, thank you for saying this, because I've been working on circulation, and I didn't even say anything to her. She said, I noticed your pores are a little bit bigger. And I said, really? And she said, what are you doing? I said, oh my God. I said, I'm taking this supplement that's really good for circulation, and it helps reduce inflammation and circulation. And she noticed, she said, yeah, you have a lot of in those spots, that's where most of your growth is. So like right now, my scalp is tingling, and it tingles like that periodically. It's because of the circulation. So I have really good circulation right now, and I feel it.
Wonderful. See, so you're doing a multitude. It's like you're taking a holistic approach.
I'm
You're
taking
hitting
the whole.
hitting it
Mhm.
from a lot of different angles.
Yes,
And
I'm
that makes all the difference in the world. You're giving your hair every advantage, and you're working with things at the structural level.
right.
It
And,
sounds like.
and what I like, and the reason why I mention your oils, because if I didn't take your oil at all, let's say I didn't do your oil, I would have hair growth, but I don't think it would be at the growth with everything that I'm doing. Because I need to go every 6 weeks, because I have too much hair growth every 6 weeks.
I
So
know.
so I have too much.
I
So
believe you because I
I
typically
want to work. I want to go 8 weeks.
you
I
want to try
tried
just
that.
make sure that they're very tender and that you're not coming out of there sore. But I believe you because when I was taking my multivitamins on a regular and doing my oils consistently some
Mhm.
years back, my hair was way beyond. It was like an extra half inch each time I went in because I typically would be at about a 10 week. Every 10 week on average retightening schedule, but my loctician noticed it as well. So when you're consistent with those oils and you're doing anything additional, you're going to notice a big quantum leap in growth and hair strength. Even now, because I'm swimming more, I'm taking more care to pretty much spray my hair like every other day, but I'm using my oils more because I know I'm going to be washing more. And now I've just got hair growing outside the lock all over the place.
So that's what's
Just a
happening.
month ago I didn't have.
What's happening.
So I'm like,
That's
okay, they're starting to grow. It's only been a few weeks I've been doing it. But the
that's,
magical hair growth serum and the other one, they both work
yes.
differently, but they both especially the magical hair growth serum, its synergistic blend is designed to carry the oils deeper into the follicle. And so it really helps to strengthen the hair and it creates a lot of extra growth. It really it rushes the hair cycle.
It does. It
Yeah.
brushes the hair cycle. That's what I noticed. And even my loctician noticed. And you're right. I tell her, I said, whatever rotation you do not do that last rotation. So
Right.
I don't, so when I leave her chair, I don't feel like I just got to retie.
Yeah,
It
that's
looks
the way
like
it should be.
it looks like I got to retie,
Uh-huh.
but it doesn't feel like I got to retie.
That's critical. That's very
Yes.
important that your hair feels comfortable and that you don't have any pain. That's going to
No.
be more important than even the frequency. That particular element or that particular
Mhm.
aspect of some of the at-risk practices, like I like to call them, that we have to do to maintain this stuff. That's a critical one.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Been
Exactly.
wonderful talking to you, Miss.
Oh, it's
I'm going to have you back on. There's just so much wisdom that we have to get from you, beautiful lady. I'm going
oh
to
my
have you
God.
back on. I hope you don't mind being a recurring guest.
Oh, you know what? Anything for you, Tanisha.
Mhm.
Anything for you. I enjoyed myself. Thank you. And I am a talker though. So, I mean, So
Look, we could keep talking. If I thought people would watch this and they wouldn't be aggravated because it gets so long and the algorithms wouldn't be aggravated, we could probably talk on into the evening and have dinner while we were sitting up here. Believe me, it would be easy.
why I don't, because with videos you can stop it and watch it again,
Yeah.
but everybody want quick. They want
That
quick.
would, we live in a immediate gratification world today.
Right.
Everything's got to be like now, like yesterday, People want to consume stuff fast. That's why our attention spans have decreased to the extent that they have. Don't have patience. But I have loved talking to you. I really, really have. I hope that we can set a time for the next one in about 2 months, because I definitely want you to come on and I want you to tell us more about some of your holistic health secrets. Some of the things that
Okay,
you do. I
yes.
really would like for you to talk more about
Oh
that. Are
my
you ready
God.
to do that, Miss
You know
Carol?
what? I'll put it in buckets because I do a lot and it
We
can
want to
be
know what that
overwhelming. So that's
is.
why it's good to
We
get
want to
stuff.
know. We want to know what all this stuff is that you pack into your day. We want to know your beauty secrets, okay?
Okay, well, I will definitely do that. But also, I didn't even talk about your oil because your oil is amazing. So
Oh, thank you so
thanks
much.
for the serum, the serum.
You talking about the ageless?
Mhm. That's what I'm
Okay,
talking
now,
about.
and
Mhm.
I'm gonna give myself a plug on this one because I have had these lines across my forehead for a few decades, and whenever I'm doing my serum on a regular. Now, for me, regular is in the morning and in the evening. It smooths these out.
It
In addition
does.
to just keeping my skin looking dewy, keeping it looking very even, it serves as an exfoliator. Sometimes I will clean
Yes.
my face with it. Sometimes I clean my skin
Yes.
with the ageless serum.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because and I can see how you can use that because they call it oil cleansing. So yes,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
oil is real good for cleansing. So
Mhm.
absolutely yes.
Yeah.
So your stuff, so it's really good. I incorporate that, into my facial routine. So I
Well,
love that.
skin is
So
gorgeous. The skin
well,
is
thank
not 61, but then, like you said, black don't crack. So, I mean, the skin is beautiful and it's
well, thank
dewy
you.
and it's glowing.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
I do red light
yeah,
therapy. So it's just,
yeah.
I do
You're
a whole
living
lot of,
well, though. You're living well from the inside out.
I
That's
am.
what that's what is clear to me is that you're living well. You can see a person's spirit. You can see their aura, and you have a beautiful aura, and you're living well from the inside out,
Hmm.
spiritually. And I can see that. Yeah, you're
Yes.
very fortunate. You're very fortunate. Thank you so much for your time. I have
Oh, you're
thoroughly
so,
enjoyed you. I'm so glad
I,
to have met you, Carol.
oh, the same here, Tanisha. Thank you. Anytime,
You're more
you
than
just let me
welcome.
know. And this was fun.
July. I'm letting you know. July, a date in July. So you pick the date in July.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. That sounds good.
As you go through the journey, you see the table of contents, which gives you an idea of the impactful nature of this journey and just what is actually included. There's so many things to see in here, but I'll just highlight. You have a lock monthly budget planner where you can list the month and year that covers everything: lock products and expenses, the maintenance, the lock materials, the totals, how much you are spending on retightenings, wanting to look at your vision statement here about what you want to achieve with your locks, whether they're sister locks or whatever type of lock that they may be, lock goals that you may have that are important to you and only you. For those of you who need to track the frequency of your retightenings, okay, where you can visually see how much time in between retightening appointments you're actually going in, how many times per year. You may need this for all sorts of reasons. You may need to switch. You may be noticing as you write down notes after your retightenings, whether you're doing them or someone else is doing them. Was it painful? Were they too tight? Did you lose any locks? Did your loctician give you any type of recommendations? You got a lock monthly checklist. You got information about what you need to be looking for and expecting from your locticians. You have a loctician assessment, which I figure is something that you need to do on a fairly regular basis, at least every 6 months. Okay, because there may be a lot of things that you are not thinking of, or things that haven't graced your doorstep yet that may at some point. It's important to keep an eye on things like that. Okay, there are lots of things around locks that you need to be mindful of. Retie concerns, thinning concerns,